What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Guys, today we're going to be talking a little bit about the goalie market and how the Leafs might fit into that via free agency and via trade. We're going to be talking about Jacob Markstrom and the offer that the Leafs potentially could have been offering. And all of that is going to be a lot of fun because we are now in the week of where everything starts to get a little nuts. We're getting the draft. Free agency is coming up very soon. There is so much coming. So if you guys are new here and you love Leafs content, rumor, everything, this week you got to like and subscribe because there is so much coming. But I don't want to waste any more time. Let's have some fun and let's talk some hockey. So the first thing that I wanted to bring up here is the New Jersey Devils being the winner of the Jacob Markstrom sweepstakes. Now, we do know Markstrom is a pretty solid goaltender, slightly above league average, put up good numbers. The guy would have been a really good piece for any team, and the Devils won those sweepstakes. They were the team that, of course, were in and out and in and then out. Pause. But they were the team that was after him the most. And here's the thing. This is where I get a little bit confused. Apparently, the Maple Leafs were truly in on Markstrom and that they were actually really trying for it. And, you know, this is where things get a little bit more interesting because we do know our GM, Brad Treliving, used to be with the Calgary Flames. He signed that Markstrom contract before. And Elliot Friedman said on the 32 Thoughts podcast, I heard their offer to Calgary was comparable to New Jersey's, but I think because of politics there, Toronto was going to have to blow anyone else out of the water to get that player. And he thinks that Markstrom preferred New Jersey, but he was open to teams like Toronto and Ottawa and playing in the East. So here's the thing. I was a little bit like on the edge of like, do I really believe that the Leafs are in on Markstrom? I wasn't really sure. And it seems as though that they truly were in on Markstrom. I didn't know if that was going to be a thing. I didn't know that that was a possibility, but it seems like it was. And the Leafs apparently would have had to have blown everyone else out of the water, which again is really dumb. I think it sucks because the Leafs having to offer more to acquire this guy wouldn't have made sense. And it looks like Brad Treliving made the right choice. So that got me thinking, okay, so the Maple Leafs were saying, yeah, Joseph Woll is our guy, but then they were going to go out there and get a guy like Jacob Markstrom who can play over 50 games a year. So you're basically saying to Joseph Woll, okay, well, you know, we are in the goalie market and we were swinging for a starting goaltender. So where does that put the Leafs now? Do you just stick with Joseph Woll and go after a serviceable backup? Or are they still going after starting goaltenders? So Adam Proto from the Hockey News, wow, these pop-ups are annoying. He was listing some potential choices for teams looking for a goaltender. UC Saros, Linus Ullmark, Anthony Stolarz, who's a free agent, Laurent Brossoit, who's going to be a free agent as well, and Cam Talbot. So first of all, Saros and Ullmark, both of those guys, not happening. Saros is definitely going to be staying with the Preds. I don't know why they would trade him. At first, maybe I thought, you know, they might deal him, especially if the right trade came up, but I don't really know if that's a possibility. Unless Mitch Marner is involved in the deal, I don't know what's going to happen, but I doubt it. Apparently, they want to keep him. Ullmark, the Leafs and Bruins are not making that trade because it would be silly for the Bruins to do that. If the Maple Leafs got a little bit better goaltending, maybe they would be the better team. Who knows? I don't think so, but again, it's just not going to happen. Stolarz, Brossoit, and Talbot are very interesting names. We've been hearing Brossoit a lot and that there's mutual interest. Stolarz is an interesting one as well. He could potentially win a Stanley Cup. Again, at the time you're watching this, maybe the Cup is over. I'm filming this before Game 7, the day before Game 7. But it's really interesting because I don't know which direction the Leafs could go with any of these guys. And we'll just quickly look at these guys again. Stolarz, he's 30 years old. I'm not really sure what kind of deal he's going to be looking at. You can see all of his contracts. He had a $1.1 million cap hit. He'll definitely be getting a raise on that. he's been a serviceable goaltender. Like, he's played on some pretty terrible teams, to be fair. Those 2 Duck seasons, like, he wasn't the greatest the year before, but you can see, like, 28 games with the Ducks in 21-22, and then in 27 games here, he was really good in the playoffs this year. In the one game he's played, he got lit up, but the Leafs are not looking for a guy to go in there and play a bunch in the playoffs if they believe in Joseph Woll. And maybe Stolarz could be a good 1B for Joseph Woll if he can stay healthy, knock on wood. And again, that's my biggest thing, is that the Maple Leafs have to be careful, because guys like Stolarz and Brossoit, they haven't played like that 40-plus games consistently a year to prove that they're a starter, that they can handle the longevity of a season and, take on that role of being the guy. So it's really difficult to just be like, oh yeah, this guy's going to solve a lot of problems. He has to be a 1B only if Woll is healthy, and maybe he ends up becoming a starter if Woll can't stay healthy or he just plays better. If there's internal competition and they're both healthy, it seems like a good fit. And that could be the same thing for Laurent Brossoit, 31 years old. We've touched base on this player before, this goalie, I should say. He's definitely getting a raise. I think teams are going to have to pay a little bit. The goalie market's not too good, and he has really good numbers. Like, this guy's been consistent for a while, but again, he doesn't play a ton of games, and you have to take that with a grain of salt. It's the same thing with Stolarz, and we've talked about Brossoit before. Both of these guys I would welcome on a really cheap deal. Like, if the Leafs are able to get any of these guys under $2.5 million, you're chilling. But I think they're going to get a little bit more money because the goalie market is so weak, and even the trading market for goaltenders is not like... It's not that hot, man. It could just be Ullmark that teams are really going to be able to trade for, and it looks like Ottawa might be kind of in the lead for that. So we'll have to see there. But the interesting name that I thought of that was on this list was Cam Talbot. And the reason why this is interesting is because, first of all, I think the Leafs could get him at a cheap number. He's shown that he can play a lot of games. He's 36 years old. You're not looking for him to be the playoff guy. You want Joseph Woll to be the guy. Even Ullmark said that. Like, Joseph Woll gave the Bruins a hard time. This came from Ullmark, a guy who faced him. And if he can stay healthy, this is a perfect veteran goaltender to take on a bunch of games. And I also hope the Leafs bring back Martin Jones as like the third goalie again. I think it'd be a perfect fit. But if you look at Cam Talbot, 36 years old, I'm not expecting him to get this monster deal. $1 million cap hit last year. If you give him 2.5, maybe $3 million, it could make some sense here. Look at this, 54 games. Look at the amount of games this guy has played previously, and they're all like pretty solid numbers. Ottawa, that again, the Senators haven't really been that good. I don't care about these playoff numbers. The reason why, first of all, those 2 seasons are good. That one's pretty good. That one's pretty decent. Like, all these numbers are good. This one, not so hot. 3 games, small sample size, but not great. I want him to be able to play a bunch of games so that way Joseph Woll could stay healthy and not have to play so much. Then you have a healthy Joseph Woll. You ride him into the playoffs, and you hope that he shows that, hey, look, now this is my crease. I can play. You get a veteran like Cam Talbot. It honestly makes a ton of sense. And I don't know why I wasn't thinking of this before, but you might be able to get him for the cheap. Under $3 million, I think you're laughing, right? Any of these goalies, I don't think that they're going to get like severely overpaid, but Cam Talbot seems to me like he could be a really good fit. Let him play a bunch of games. Let him teach Woll the ways. Let him help him develop. It seems like Talbot would be a perfect presence for him. And then you also would potentially re-sign Martin Jones as the third goalie again for like $1 million, $1.5 million, something like that. Probably nothing more than $1 million. I don't really know what Martin Jones is out there looking for. He had a good season though, to be fair. So maybe he gets a little raise from a team desperate for some goaltending, some depth. So I look at these 3 options and I'm okay with all of them as long as they don't overpay. I just find it really interesting that they actually were in on Markstrom, that they actually were willing to give up pieces to acquire a number 1 goalie, and now I'm wondering where they're going. So I'm leaving it up to you guys. You guys let me know in the comments, sound off in the comments, What do you guys think the Leafs are going to do? Are they going to go out there and make a big trade for a goalie, or are they going to sign a depth piece kind of in free agency? So let me know, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Always love and appreciate you. Thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video or stream. Go Leafs. It's silly season. Let's see what they do. Peace.